So this week we're gonna be back to school, and I'm gonna share with you a little bit about what our homeschool day looks like and what curriculum we use.
Z-2, we're coming up here with Nikki. We're gonna need support here.
Okay, so everybody's being really loud and obnoxious, so I'm gonna wrap this up, but hope you enjoy this episode. We are still here in Fiji, and we're having a good time with Nikki and Jason.
Z-Crew is teaching us how to kiteboard. Scares the pants off of me, but it's fun.
I'll let it float away. I'll let it float away. I'll let it float away. Float away, float away. Yeah, I'll let it float away. I'll let it float away. I'll let it float away.
Where the caves are this morning. There's some freshwater caves there.
Freshwater.
Should be kind of neat. You went up there on that other sheet, kind of caught around the knee. No, go on the outside.
Wicked. We need more lights. Definitely need a light. Keith took his dive gear and underwater camera and lighting kit down into the belly of this massive underwater cave system. He scouted out the openings first, then our friend Brian from Renegade, and of course Jack and Finn explored them by freediving. Legend has it that these underwater limestone caves are known as the resting place of the 10-headed ancient Fijian god Ulutini. So I'm getting ready for homeschooling. We're going to start school in a couple of days, and I need to figure out what we have and what we're going to do. And we've got a few things left over that we didn't finish last semester. We got some books from a boat friend that we're going to do. And of course, we still have our switched on schoolhouse. So I'm going to figure out what we got, what we need to do.
And that's it?
And that's it. In the almost 20 years I've been homeschooling, I've graduated 2 of my 4 kiddos, one of which is currently attending university in Texas. And one of the first suggestions I'd make to a beginner homeschooler, if you're a U.S. resident, is to check out your state's requirements by going over to hslda.org and click on your state to see exactly what the homeschool laws are. Next, just find books, any books that interest you and your child, and start from there. If you're just starting out on your sailing adventure and you've never homeschooled before, I suggest you don't school just yet. Take the first 3 weeks or 3 months off of organized academics and focus on learning your boat, learning how to sail, and just get into the groove of your new lifestyle.
So I'm getting my brand spanking new Quark kite mount set up, and I'm gonna go use it.
What is it supposed to do?
Supposed to, so it stabilizes. So I put it on my kite lines, and the GoPro just chills, so it's stable.
So I've completed, I think, what we're going to do for school. We're going to do Spanish on Rosetta Stone. Kate's going to have it on her phone. And Finn's gonna do it here, and I downloaded, you can download like, I don't know, 4 or 5 offline sections, so that should last us a while. And we're gonna do maps together for social studies. We're gonna do Algebra 1 together. We're gonna do health and financial literacy on, switched on the computer. Finn and Kate have to share a computer because one of them died recently, which is okay. So that's what we're gonna do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subjects. That'll probably last, it'll probably take us maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours a day if it gets complicated.
Right.
So we'll get that started tomorrow.
So,
I'm so excited. I love school.
Giving advice to people that are wanting to homeschool in the time of COVID and everybody's at home, what's the best advice, the one-liner you've given to more people at homeschooling when it comes to they feel overwhelmed with their kids and trying to keep their kids up with all the other kids and all the academics?
Well, usually my favorite advice is just be one day ahead of your kids. So for instance, today I'm just looking at what we're gonna do on chapter 1, lesson 1, and I just need to know that I know how to do that. It's adding fractions. I can do that. Adding fractions with common denominators. It's not that hard.
Should you get caught up worried about your kids going to be taking Harvard classes while they're in 2nd grade?
No.
I mean, because a lot of parents want their kids to be in Harvard college classes when they're in 2nd or 3rd grade. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah. Your kids learn at your own speed.
Yeah. Don't try to recreate your public school experience in your homeschool. Just learn with your kids, study with your kids, read together. For us, homeschool is usually an hour of bookwork and computer work, and then they'll do their computer work and their Spanish on their own whenever they get a chance. And then we'll go snorkeling or diving or kiting.
I got home ec.
And Nikki is teaching us home ec, how to bake, and she's teaching us nutrition and the food groups.
That's right. She's our home.
I cut up coconuts.
Look at
These coconuts that
our
I
home
ordered.
economics teachers. They're teaching us that we don't have to live on meat alone.
These are beautifully crafted
Coconuts, according to the
Yes.
Fijian guy that I bought them from.
He said they were coconuts.
Yes.
All right. So that's a wrap.
So that's a wrap.
All right.
Ah, ladies, what are we cooking tonight?
Well, we're gonna have some
Shrimp.
garlic, lemon, cilantro pasta, and we're making homemade garlic knots, which Kate, the famous baker, is helping with.
Yeah.
So,
Love your rolling pin there, Kate. We went from a water bottle to a wine bottle.
you know who drank this?
Kate drank it, and then she's using it.
Okay, brush me. Brush, 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 brush.
Yeah. So I'm a little late.
Exactly,
filming.
same. I didn't know if everybody would eat it.
Jack, was it good?
It's most excellent. Our magnificent chefs, Nikki and Kate, have outdone themselves.
Again. Thank you, Kate.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
I want to tell everybody out there,
I don't know if it's the best.
being a vegetarian isn't the worst thing in the world.
It is.
Well, they're pescatarian. We
The
just said
pescatarian,
shrimp.
well, regardless,
They're not
you can
pescatarians,
truly,
they're
and it's really
something else.
opened up my brain because the biggest problem we have on the boat is storing meats and freezing meats.
That's true.
And becoming a pescatarian or a vegetarian, it eliminates the need to have freezers to freeze meat all the time. So there's a big added bonus there. Nikki hasn't made one dish yet
That hasn't been good.
that hasn't been good, and
Except for the one.
except for this tapioca pudding,
Chia seed pudding.
crap stuff that tastes like donkey butt. But
How do you know what donkey butt tastes like?
I'm not proud of myself. I can tell you.
Jeez.
Want it.
All right, boys and girls. So normally on a school day for us, I make sure they do their chores in the morning when they get up and eat some breakfast, and then we do our schoolwork before we go play or sail to another island or whatever. So, and one of my biggest pieces of advice is to teach as a group. If you have more than one student and they're anywhere near the same grade level or skill level, to teach them together, because you can adjust the lesson to fit each student with just one book. So for instance, we are starting Algebra 1. Finn is a year older than Kate, but he wasn't ready for school at age 5 for preschool, so I waited till he was 6. Kate was 5, and we just started preschool together and kindergarten together and moved up from then on. So we did pre-algebra last semester, so we're going to do Algebra 1. We'll probably do school for about an hour, and then that'll be all the book work that we need to do. They'll have Spanish you're going to do on the iPad. That's pretty easy. You already started.
Sometimes Spanish is 30 minutes long.
Okay.
Yeah, so
well, that's fine. So maybe 2 hours of school a day, and that's it. And then we go play, get lots of PE and lots of recess. So, all right, so let's get started on math. So my final bit of advice would be just be honest with your kids. If you have forgotten how to multiply fractions, or if you have no idea what an adverb is, just let them know that. Let them know that y'all are going to be learning together. So to recap what we've learned today, teach as a group if you can. Don't try to recreate your public school setting. Make your homeschool your own. You only have to be 1 day ahead of your kids, so don't try to figure trigonometry out today if you're teaching 2nd and 3rd graders. And take time off. If this is your first time to homeschool, don't worry about schooling. Focus on learning how to sail and getting to know your family in the outdoor world, and then kind of ease into homeschooling. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, reach out to us on Instagram and Facebook. We're at Selling Zatara, and I hope to see you next time.
Oh, wait, sorry.
See if you can have one book.
That's a blooper reel.
Okay. And have a great day.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's edition of the Q&A. We are in Fiji now. We've been out cruising. We've been enjoying life out here. First thing I want to do is a shout out to Dr. Roger and Ruth Tuck down in Whangarei, New Zealand. They helped us get our scripts. They hooked us up with another doctor down there to help us get all our medical kit up to speed and take all the expired medicines out of our medical kit and get our medical kit back up to standard. And I just want to send a very special thank you out to Roger and Ruth. Thank you so much for your help down there in New Zealand. We really appreciate it. Also, I want to do a shout out to a lady in Australia. Her name is Elizabeth Stevens. She's the mother of a friend of ours out here on Sunrise. And Elizabeth, I want to thank you guys for watching the show. Thank you for your support and all that you do out there. Jumping right into the Q&As now, we're going to start with some questions. This one is from Pirate Girl SC. I know you keep extra head cells and spinnakers, but do you keep an extra main cell in storage for large passages? No, that's a good question. We don't keep an extra head cell, an extra main cell. Main cells are very heavy. They weigh a lot. They take up a lot of room, and we really don't fly our main cell that much. Most of the sailing we're doing are downwind and not with the main cell, so it doesn't get as much use as the other cells do. But thanks for watching the show, and thanks for the question. Moving right along, this is from Get Stoked. I gotta read this. This is from Get Stoked. What do you do? What do you guys do if someone falls in the water? We normally give them a hand. Way to go. I'm sure you're asking what do we do if they fall overboard on passage, and the bottom line to that is we're very safe on passage. Nobody goes outside the cockpit on passage in bad, gnarly weather, so we want to eliminate and mitigate the risks for people going out on the deck or going out when there's bad seas. And one of the things that we're probably not doing is we're not filming when there's really rough, bad seas out there. Anytime you've seen us on deck and you've seen us without PFDs on or anything like that, the seas aren't very bad. It's not bad enough to warrant that. Anytime somebody's on deck or around, there's always somebody out watching, and we're prepared to turn the engines on in the boat, turn around and motor back, drop the sails and go back to where they are. We have several things we throw in the water to mark the spot. We've never had to do that. We practice man overboard drills from time to time, so our kids are pretty knowledgeable, and we're all pretty knowledgeable about what to do. Thanks for watching the show, Get Stoked, and we're moving right along. Next question is from Scuba 422123. Do you guys drive in the fog, and what precautions do you take if you do? Well, number one, we don't drive in the fog. We just don't do that. We've never been exposed to fog. A little bit in New Zealand there, but we were in the marina. But I wouldn't like to be navigating in the fog, so we really just don't do that. We're not in colder climates where there is a lot of fog and radiation fog and stuff like that. So great question, but it just doesn't really pertain to us right now. We hadn't been in those places. Next one out of the boat is from Scott Truex. He asks, how much water does your boat take on in today? How much water can your bilges handle? You know, our bilges could handle, you know, 200 or 300 gallons of water. Most of the water that comes into our boat, though, comes from rainwater. When it rains and it seeps in through a hatch somewhere or goes down the side of the boat through cracks and crevices like that. Or it comes from the air conditioning or the fridge compressors, and that runs down the hatch. And those pumps, you know, there's only about that much water, about 6 inches of water in our bilges on a given basis. So not much water comes in here at all. But great question. Next thing we want to talk about right now is it's been a tough week out here on the water for a lot of people. And first of all, I want to thank everybody who came out and supported the Jarman family. They lost their son Eddie to a tragic boating accident over in Maria this week, and all our people that follow our show and watch our show, thank you so much for supporting him. I can't imagine the struggle they're going through, and it just, you know, to take one less load off of them is just a great thing. And I thank all of you guys for helping them out. We met that young man was on our boat. I remember him sitting on the back of our boat smiling, and him and Finn playing, and their daughter. It was just tragic, and a life taken too soon for sure. Next shout out we want to do is to Alicia Mary Lee Richardson Goebel. She's been dealing with cancer. Mary, too many names right there. There's too many names. You're going to have to shorten your name. You're going to have to shorten your name, Alicia. We want to do a shout out to Alicia Goebel. She's been dealing with cancer, and we hope you're fighting the good fight, and keep it up. Thanks for watching the show, and you know, we just thank all you guys out there. Anybody who's struggling, anybody who's been inspired, or our show's helped. We're just humbled, and we just appreciate all y'all watching. And with that being said, that brings us to the end of this week's Q&A live from Fiji. And guys, if you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the little bell. It'll tell you when I'm going to be talking or when we're going to have a show out. And once again, as always, guys, I look forward to seeing you guys out there on the water.